The reason that we use the word declare is that often when people are trying to drive change in their companies, they use words like hope. They use words like try. And when you declare a bold vision, you're actually committing to something. You're committing to something. So in this case today, we're going to focus on being an ally and having a culture where everyone feels like they belong and can bring their authentic selves to work. So if you were to declare that in your organization, you might be saying to yourself, well, right now, that is so far from the truth. Like, it just doesn't feel like that at my company. But when you declare, you put out a commitment and you are willing to be uncomfortable, embracing the fear. And that's how we've watched leader after leader, manager after manager, and many of them were not managers, take a stand for having a culture where people feel appreciated, respected, and supported to live their full life. There's an expression, throw your hat over the wall so you have no choice but to follow it. There's an Irish writer by the name of Frank O'Connor, and he tells a story when he was a young boy. Whenever they would go out hiking, if they got to a wall that they didn't know how to scale, one of the boys would take their hat off their head and throw it over the wall, so they had no choice but to go follow it. This is a powerful metaphor for your work and, in fact, your whole life, because there's been times you've all done this. You've said, you've made a commitment, whether that was getting into university, getting a job, getting a promotion, taking a stand at your company, even in your personal life, getting married, having a baby. There's been times when you've declared outcomes, like this is happening, before you knew how to achieve it. There's also been times when you've gotten to walls and you've said it's just too hard. And your own cynicism and resignation and the current circumstances get in the way. And we just say, it's not possible, let's find another path. It is the way it is. And the reason why this is important is that people's actions are always correlated to the future you see as possible. So if you believe something's possible, if you believe it's possible to have your culture be different, if you believe it's possible for you to make a difference at your company, you will then take actions and figure it out and have the hard conversations and be the change, be part of the change that you want to see. I want to hone in on unpredictable outcomes. Okay? What I mean by that is that most of the time, human beings, and particularly in corporate America, we are setting predictable goals. We say things like, what do we need to do? And I hope, it gets better, or I wish it looked different, or we should try X. And everything is playing it safe because people don't want to play big in case we fail. Human beings don't like to fail. So today I want to help you focus on what would be an unpredictable outcome a year from today that would be worth playing for. Okay, and this is how we're defining unpredictable. You don't know how to achieve it. You could fail, or you have failed in the past. Like we've said this before. It involves factors and people outside of your control, or it requires radical change. Okay, so this is where I want you to focus. We're not focusing on fantasy outcomes, which is up here. We're not focusing on predictable outcome. We're in the middle, which is unpredictable outcomes, but they're possible.